This is the real salary slip of my friend Arjun, who works as a senior software engineer at a tech company in Bengaluru. I can't reveal the company's name, so let's just call it NextGen. His CTC is 70,60,512 rupees, which technically means कि वो महीने का 5.9 lakhs बनाता है. But that is not true, because this right here, 3.2 lakhs, is what actually lands in his bank account every month. That's a gap of over 2.5 lakhs per month, and every single rupee of it is going somewhere else. Today, we're going to find out exactly where and what the new Income Tax Rules 2026 changed about it since April 1st. Most people assume when they see a salary slip for the first time, HRs just made this complicated. Somebody in finance got bored and invented 17 line items just to confuse you instead of paying you a single clean number. They didn't. The government invented it, and for only one reason: taxes. Also, the Indian government doesn't tax your entire salary equally. They split it. Some components are fully taxable, some are partially exempt, while others are not taxed at all. A salary slip isn't just a document, it's a tax architecture. And once you understand the logic behind each line, the gap between CTC and in-hand stops looking like a mystery and starts looking like a system. That system starts with one number: basic pay. Your basic pay is the seed, and every other significant number on your slip grows from it. Change this one number and you change almost everything else, which is exactly why companies spent years suppressing it, sometimes as low as 25% of CTC, just to reduce their mandatory obligations, while your offer letters still looked impressive. The 2026 labor codes made that illegal. Basic salary must now be at least 50% of your CTC. On Arjun's slip, basic is 2,30,000, which ripples through almost every other line. The rest of your salary beyond basic gets split into allowances, smaller portions tagged to specific purposes like rent, travel, or food. The government taxes each one differently, and it starts with the biggest allowance on your slip: the HRA. The HRA is the portion of your salary meant to help you pay rent. The government treats this as a basic living expense, so it's partially tax-free. Your HR calculates exactly how much. You just tell them what you pay in rent. But for decades, this tax-free percentage was higher only for 4 metros: Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata. Everyone paying equally brutal rent in Bengaluru, Pune, and Hyderabad got less relief because the tax code hadn't caught up to where the jobs had moved. But 2026 finally fixed it. अब ये सारे शहर भी officially Metro Club के part बन चुके हैं. On Arjun's slip, 1,15,000 rupees in HRA is fully exempt. Under the old rules, he'd lose 23,000 rupees every month. Over 2.25 lakh rupees saved every single year. On Arjun's slip, the remaining allowances are conveyance of 3,200 rupees for his daily commute, medical of 5,000 rupees for his healthcare, and a leave travel allowance of 15,000 rupees for those Goa trips he's always planning. Jayega yaar ek din. These are all smaller components, each tagged to a specific expense, and they're partially protected from tax, but only if he actually makes that expense. And then there's the special allowance of 59,000 rupees. HR throws everything in here that doesn't fit elsewhere. और सबसे बड़ा दुख ये है कि every rupee here is fully taxable if you don't structure them properly. Now, check out the kids section where Arjun can save tax on his kids' education. In 2026, these lines went from chiller to serious paisa. Education allowance jumped from just 100 rupees to 3,000 rupees, and hostel allowance from 300 to 9,000 rupees per child per month. So, with his 2 kids, Arjun is shielding 2,88,000 rupees a year from the taxman. 30% के bracket में सीधा 86,400 रुपए की बचत. And then there's the meal card allowance. Whether it's lunch at the office canteen or a quick Swiggy or Zomato order, this is tax-free support loaded onto cards like Plugsy or Zaggle. For years, the tax-free limit was so low that it felt like a joke. But in April 2026, it jumped up to 1,05,600 rupees a year. And for Arjun, 8,800 rupees a month sitting in a meal card saves 31,680 rupees in taxes. Oh, but one small catch. Check with your HR first, because the government hasn't clearly stated if this works under the new tax regime yet. So that's the earning side of Arjun's slip. Now let's flip it over, because every rupee that didn't make it onto the earning side went somewhere on this side. The EPF. Think of the Employee Provident Fund as a forced savings account for your own retirement. Every single month, a portion of your salary goes in automatically, your employer adds their share, and it earns a guaranteed 8.2% interest every single year. Here on Arjun's slip, EPF appears twice, once on the deduction side and once in the CTC summary. NextGen's 27,600 sits right inside his CTC, not above him. It was always his money. They just routed it into EPF and called it their contribution. Oh, but NextGen's contribution doesn't fully land in Arjun's PF account. Only 3.67% goes into EPF. The remaining 8.33% goes into the employee pension scheme. ये वो पैसा है जो आपको monthly pension के तौर पे retirement के बाद मिलेगा. TDS. TDS is your employer paying your income tax before your salary even reaches you. Every single month, they estimate what you owe for the year and they deduct it in installments. The 1,05,170 rupees on Arjun slip is exactly that. असल में आपके रोने से पहले ही पैसे कट चुके होते हैं. So, taxes in India are calculated across a financial year, April to March. The new Income Tax Act simply renamed this to tax year. The government gives every salaried employee a choice of two ways to calculate your TDS, each with its own rules. Old regime or new regime. Now, whichever one you pick, your employer adjusts your TDS accordingly. We're covering exactly which one wins for Arjun in the next video. But what changed in 2026 is that under the new regime, every salaried Indian earning up to 12.75 lakhs pays zero income tax. One last thing. Form 16, your yearly tax certificate, is retired. It's replaced by Form 130, your new digital tax summary. Oh, by the way, quick reminder to like the video and subscribe for more. Professional tax and labor welfare fund. Just when you thought the taxman was done, the state government enters the chat. Professional tax is your state government's fee for the privilege of having a job in their territory, usually around 200 rupees a month, and it's capped at 2,500 a year. And then there's the labor welfare fund, a tiny 50 rupee deduction for worker benefits. Chiller amount hai, but on a payslip, every rupee counts. Now let's look at the ghost money in Arjun CTC. His gross income is 4,60,000 rupees, but his company spends considerably more. Perks he can't spend today, but that do inflate his CTC. First, gratuity of 11,063 rupees, a loyalty bonus which you can only touch after 5 years. Then, there's the insurance cost of 6,380 rupees, a real protection but zero cash in hand. Finally, there are the ESOPs of 83,333 rupees, which are shares in the company that you work in. ये सिर्फ spreadsheet पर अमीर दिखाते हैं, but you can't buy anything with them until an IPO. Add up the EPF, the gratuity, and the ESOPs, and that's over 1.28 lakhs a month that exists only on paper. ये है असली बोमाया. And then there's the terms and conditions tier of your CTC. First, the performance bonus, the ultimate maybe. ये तब मिलता है जब आपका काम और किस्मत दोनों चमके. Next, joining and retention bonuses. They come with a clawback clause. If you quit early, सारा पैसा वापस देना पड़ेगा. It's basically a gift with an invisible leash. Finally, the perks. Your laptop goes back to the company when you resign. The gym, Netflix, Spotify, etc. are all reimbursements. So you pay them first and you claim for it later. So, 70 lakhs on the offer letter, but only 38 lakhs in the bank. This gap isn't a trick. It's just a system that nobody explains to you on the day that you sign. CTC is the company's number. In hand is yours. Now you know exactly what happens to every rupee in between. अब कंपनी के प्यार और पैसा का फर्क समझ चुके हो. But Arjun is still leaving money on the table because we haven't talked about which tax regime actually wins for his salary. That's exactly what we're breaking down in the next video. If you like this video, let us know in the comments below and remember to hit that like button. I'll see you next time.